I foresee in the future great games.
I thought that was going to go a lot differently.
I did too. You know, I was expecting to have a much better thing to say, and then I put my hand on my forehead, and then just boom, everything went. So I said great games. And
I had a good one.
did you? All right, let's just cut back to the stage.
I can't say it on stream.
Okay, you'll tell me. You'll whisper it in my ear later. When
I see. It's about something tonight that's going to happen.
Oh yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what will be the final game out of the group stage. It is going to be the Gentlemen of Vengeance going up against Bipolar Method. Vengeance still looking for their first win out of the group stage. Bipolar is looking to get their second win and put them into a three-way tiebreaker for the first place game. So, the way that tiebreaker will work, it will be total time of completion of the game's shortest time wins. And those top two teams will go on to face each other for the number 1, number 2 spots. And then the other two will go on to face for number 3, number 4. That being said, if Vengeance is able to win this game, they will secure basically Bipolar's spot in the bottom 2. So really all they can do is spoil the time of Bipolar while picking up a win of their own.
Also a win that they probably really need at this point. I mean, being 0-2 so far in the tournament, yeah, you're not going to get in the first, second place competition, but still, you want that momentum going into that third, fourth place match. There's still a lot of money for them to win, and not to mention a lot of fans to win out there. Yeah,
do they have it in them to this dang headset, man? I can't. I just want the ball in front of my mouth, Jason. That's all I want. I want to speak into the mic directly. You gonna help me out here? Oh yeah.
See, you put this under that.
Oh yeah.
And then
don't stop.
and then you wrap it around.
Oh,
your face.
See, that's what it's like to be a professional.
So you don't curve it up; it just goes in front of your face, like a football mask,
okay.
or
maybe it's just my oddly shaped head. Maybe
that could be it. That really could.
Yeah, maybe. But we are going to go ahead and I guess talk a little bit about the game. In fact, we are playing Smite here at Gamescom 2013. This is the European Finals. We're going to take a look at the standings now, ladies and gentlemen. It is, as you see, the last game. It's Bipolar Method versus Vengeance, and you see 2 wins and a loss for SK, 2 wins and a loss for COG EU. And then 1-1 Bipolar going against the 0-2 Vengeance. So if it does indeed get picked, Victory does get picked up by Bipolar here, we'll be going to the admins to tell us who will move on to the final 2 games.
And luckily it goes to them because our math really sucks. Yeah. And they're going to be able to accumulate all the times to see which team is going to end up moving into that first, second place match. But as you can see, the standings on our screen, that SK Gaming going 2-1 throughout the group stage. Vengeance Esports is not 1-1. They're actually 0-2. Bipolar Method is 1-1. And Cognitive Gaming is 2-1 currently.
Yeah. They are, indeed. Yeah, SK.
So those standings are a little wrong, but luckily we're here to at least keep them updated for you.
Yeah, listen to my words, not what you see with your eyes. And what you see with your eyes right now is Rachel flapping lettuce. Here we go. We're going to go for a shot. Oh, almost got it. Okay, so take a look here at the boys of Vengeance.
It went between my legs, though.
Setting up. That's nice.
Yeah. It's nice and cool, too, so it's like...
the cooling, the touch, the feel of lettuce.
Yeah.
Truly the vegetable of my life.
Oh,
there is the gentleman of Bipolar Method, Young Bay on the far right, Badger, followed by Lobster, High Rock, and Spoo on his phablet, sending out some quick tweets before he gets into game here. So
luckily we didn't cast Lobster last game because we were starving that game.
Oh man!
And just imagining Lobster with butter, with a nice steak.
Man, I tell you what,
my stomach has an erection right now.
Damn. I thoroughly look forward.
What do you say to that?
To that, I say, can I hold you?
What?
I don't know. I don't have a thing. How do you follow that up?
You don't.
Yeah, exactly. You take a look at the players and wonder when they're going to get a game to end this monotony of our banter. But we do appreciate everyone, whether you're watching from home or watching here live at Gamescom 2013. Thank you so much for coming by and being a part of this tournament with us. It is a 15,000 euro invitational. We did have one team qualify. That is Vengeance, currently 0-2 in the rankings, trying to find their first win and trying to give a second loss to the gentleman of Bipolar Method, currently sitting at 1-1. So we will see if they're able to do it, or if Bipolar is able to take these games over Vengeance. It is still remaining to be seen, ladies and gentlemen, but we should be getting into game any moment now as we just wait on the boys to get it all together. You take a look at their monitors. They're still chatting it up in TeamSpeak, it appears, trying to make the games actually happen. And looking out at that beautiful audience, you guys are some really good-looking crowds out there.
I'm reading chat right now, and people want you to stop.
Want me to stop what?
At least your reaction, I think, to what I said. I don't know.
I can't stop.
Won't stop?
Get it. Bad Boy Records, baby.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So this is why it's been a year since we've been together.
That's probably why.
We make things really weird sometimes.
Last year we casted Smite together and they were like, never again. But then they just like, I guess, ran out of options or someone died or I don't know what happened. And then they brought this this back to fruition. And oh man, look how handsome that's a handsome audience right there. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the, oh, look at the wave. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We're real glad that you're here. And
first person to give me the cameras. I was about to say, first person to give me a heart, I'm going to go out there and give him a Kali skin coat.
Nice.
But
they're probably all out there doing hearts right now.
Yeah, and the camera's not even looking anymore. So
yeah.
If you look up and do a heart, I'll walk out there and give you a Kali skin coat.
Nope, no, it's going to pan away.
And it,
GG.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And look at Vengeance. The boys trying to rally here.
I remember, I mean, they look very, very young.
They do.
I really wonder how much Nurse has played a part in both their games so far because, hell, I mean, I can sit here and look at a camera and be fine, but if like I'm alone in front of a couple of people, I get a little nervous when I speak.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes some tenure to really be comfortable in your own outrageous skin. And yeah, the Vengeance guys, I mean, I think maybe 14 or 15 years old. Couldn't be more than that. He does have a sweet haircut, though. He does have, I mean, you can't deny that. It's undeniable hair.
I'm just waiting for the moment that I start to lose mine. So,
but it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we have been pulled into the game here. Our first band's coming out on the way of Bipolar Method, going to get rid of Athena right away here, and we are going to have a good time talking about it and seeing what comes out. Frezzy now up for the second band. It's going to be Chang'e. We're not going to see her at all during the group stage, and the team's really thinking that she's quite strong, it appears here so far, as we just wait on the next bands to come out. Once again, it is going to be Bipolar Method over here as your blue team in this game, going up against Vengeance Esports. Well, as I horribly butchered that. Yep, there we go. And so it's going to be Raw band out as well. So Bipolar Method not wanting to deal with that sustain and split push capability. Agni as well going to be banned out. So Bacchus, Sobek, Tyr, all available. Neath and Apollo going to make it through. And let's see what this response picks are going to be from Vengeance.
I'm trying to think if I can call it right now. I'm thinking Thor. I'm thinking Apollo.
Thor, Apollo. Thor, Apollo, certainly a very strong combination. Oh, but we're going to see Naja making it through the banning phase, and this could be the game changer. You know, Bipolar certainly knows that that's going to likely be picked up. Now, of course, they can respond with a Thor. Maybe that Hercules Thor, perhaps.
The thing is, we've seen this kind of combo before over on Vengeance's side. The Naja, we've seen it mixed in with the follow-up team with the Bacchus. What else was in that composition? It was the Hades.
Was the Hades, Bacchus,
yeah.
And I think Ra? No, it wasn't a Ra. But mostly Hades and Bacchus was the burst that was coming up to follow. Wow, on her, it seems like a very early pick for him. I mean, generally not going to be available really at any point during the picking phase.
I think one thing, though, that you can take from that is you already see the range carry on the other side. So you can not show any cards by picking on her right now. So it means you have your other two lanes or your other two picks kind of hidden, and the other team doesn't know just yet.
Right.
So they have to pick champions that are kind of safe, and maybe that what they're really comfortable on. It gives you the opportunity to counter pick now.
And they are absolutely not doing that. In fact, they are picking more damage. They said, you know what we have is some damage. Let's get more damage.
Well, the thing is, Vengeance have really nothing to lose in this game.
That's right.
Only thing they have, well, they have something to win. They have the ability to make it so Bipolar can't get into the first, second place matches. So why not play something that's fun for them?
Wow, and Zeus being considered here by Bipolar Method. Bakasura? No way. Yeah, it's going to be Zeus locked in, Thor likely falling up from High Rock. But Hebo and Naja, if this game goes 40 minutes, there's no way that Bipolar can win.
I kind of have a feeling we won't get to that point with this much damage, and then your initiate right there out of Sobek. Like that's a pretty scary team.
The Naja Hebo combination is just filthy, disgusting late game, and Bakuza is going to be playing that solo lane Kronos, in fact. So we're going to see likely well, what would be the mid lane Hebo going into a 1v1 matchup versus that Kronos, who's going to be going off into the side lane, I imagine. So will Vengeance be able to pick up their first win in the group stage here, ladies and gentlemen? Is really what it all comes down to. And they've picked a very, very dangerous team to do it. You do see the teams there on the left side of your screen. It's going to be Bipolar Method, and the right side's going to be Vengeance, and we'll be underway here in game in just a couple of moments. It's it's going to be a very, very interesting game. I'm very excited to watch how this one pans out. Will the Hebo start getting his snowball together, or will he really not pan out till late game? And similar to Naja, will Naja have that really strong early game that can create what basically is an unstoppable force? The ultimate going up will just deal too much damage, and it's so safe to deal said damage. But we are underway, ladies and gentlemen, and taking a look at the blue team on the left side of your screen and the bottom of your mini-map. It is Bipolar Method. They are Lobster, Young Bay Spoo, Badger, and Hi-Rock. On the other side of the map, playing out of the Invader side, it is going to be the red team on top of your mini-map. Vengeance Esports EU, it is Frosty Ek flying away there, Repicas. Now coming into screen is Frezzy. Oh, goodness. Why can't I ever remember your name? Pakuza. And Young Lennox here on the Sobek. So, what will they be able to do? How will they convert this Naja and Hebo? And what will come of the level 1? As we generally like to do, let's talk about who has the better level 1. Obviously, the better late game goes the way of Vengeance. The better level 1, I think, maybe also in the way of Vengeance. I mean, any team with Naja, one of the reasons why you see this god banned, his ring toss can do so much damage in the early game that I think that they may even have the advantage. Although, I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Vengeance for the level 1, Jason. And they also have the late game, but that mid game belongs to Bipolar Method with these picks.
I can tell you this, Naja, yesterday when I was playing, I might have killed a couple of teammates with the ring toss. Might have done it on accident, might have done it on purpose a little bit.
Yeah, no, as well you should. Get them killed. You don't need them.
That's why you should never have a god that can move a player of his team.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you can throw someone on your team into the enemy.
Yeah,
like, that would be so much trolling, but so much fun. But we do see some wards already coming out. We do have Bipolar Method warding up the right side of the map, as well as Vengeance warding up on that right side. But right now, there's really nothing on this left side here, and I'm curious. Oh, we do have a ward down, as you can see right there, and I'm curious, are we going to see any sort of fight break out right now? And the way it's looking, we won't.
Yeah, both teams taking their respective sides of the map, it seems. Bach is going to look for the initiation over the wall and try to steal that Gold Fury camp, but I don't think he was in time. We can take a look at the charts when it starts to populate here in just a second. But yeah, I don't think he was in time to get that steal, and so we're going to have a pretty standard opening. No early aggression. And the players will go into their lanes, and we are underway with the final game out of the group stage. It is game number 6 today. It is Bipolar Method versus Vengeance. Bipolar fighting to be in the running for the finals. Vengeance just trying to get that morale victory and take that momentum into the 3rd, 4th place match. Badger going to take some early harass from that Sobek and Apollo combination in the mid. So it's going to be the dual lane in the mid, looking to control those side lanes. It's going to be the 1v1 over here in the left side lane between Kronos and Hercules, and it will be a 1v1 as well for Zeus versus Hebo. And it looks like Zeus has already sent Hebo back early on in this game.
Yeah, we should probably talk about in that lane on the right side with Zeus versus Hebo. Who do you favor? Who should win this matchup?
Hebo, most likely.
It's
Hebo,
water versus lightning, though.
It is water versus lightning, but his very, very short cooldown should allow him. Ooh, look at Thor here. Hi-Rock going to look to find Repicas, and it is going to pick up First Blood. A great rotation coming up from Hi-Rock, so deep in the enemy woods. Now he's going to try to maybe be a little bit over-aggressive and find a kill on to this red buff. Will he get it? It looks like he did. They'll find Lennox as well. Badger picks up the 2nd kill, and this is a great start for Bipolar Method. Up 2 kills to none already in this game, and a 1,500 gold experience advantage going their way.
And he already talked about how right now Vengeance has like a stronger early game, a stronger late game, but Bipolar's like, I don't really care. We're going to take the game early. We're going to take it when we probably shouldn't. And right now, Vengeance is going to have a really tough time, I'd say, getting back here. I mean, losing those 2 key members right in the beginning of the game, Repicas is going to be really disappointing considering he needs to be that late game hyper carry assassin that you've talked about earlier on today.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think it was just a great timing. I think that's a timing play by Thor. He knows that, if they do this kind of thing, they're going to be at that red buff at this point. Naja got quite low, was able to just go in there and finish him off because Naja, very, very low health pool, very high damage output. But that's going to hopefully set this Thor off for Bipolar Method. Hi-Rock going to bring a 2nd victory to Thor today. He's had a hard time finding him, certainly, and he's going to go take up his own red buff. But back to the right side lane we were talking about, I mean, I think Hebo should win this, but so far in this tournament, we've seen Frezzy have a lot of trouble playing these side lane mages, it seems like. He didn't win his Agni lane, and already early on, he's a little bit behind in this solo lane, down about a level to Lobster.
Yeah, I remember Lobster actually did phenomenally well on Agni a little bit earlier on today, but he just didn't have the damage he needed to against, I believe, Poseidon. He had the cooldown reduction, but he didn't have that pure damage that he was going to need. And now you see them taking a couple more jungle camps here. It's going to go for that blue buff. And we do see I don't know, 3 people middle for Vengeance right now. Could they possibly go for a fight here? I think just trying to scare them away.
No, I think the Naja showed his hand a little too early and they weren't able to convert anything off of it. We haven't talked at all about our left side matchup. It is going to be Kronos versus Hercules. Pakuza should be pretty safe if he plays this not too aggressively, and Hercules should be the same. Both of them have good escapes against each other in the mid lane. However, we do have HiRezBart rotating over as well, so a brief 3v3 there, but nothing really cooking. Trying to throw in pot shots in the left side lane. There is your Kronos. And once again on the right side lane, you know, it's all about closing the distance for Frezzy, and it looks like he's more concerned with just whittling down the creep wave. Lobster doing a great job of playing up. He's going to find 3 stacks here onto Frezzy. The detonate surely to come out shortly, and a lot of damage may force him out of the lane.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the second time he's been able to do it, and so far you got to give Lobster a lot of credit. He's been playing phenomenally well, I think, all tournaments so far, all in this round-robin group stage, and he's looking to pull them back a win, make them tied up with SK, make them tied up with Cognitive, and if he keeps at this pace, I think he might be able to.
Yeah, Bipolar definitely want to find a berth into the finals. It is COG EU and SK currently tied at 2-1, and this game will decide if Bipolar goes to a 2-1 standing in the group stage as well, or if they will fall to 1 and 2 and be tied with Vengeance for that 3rd, 4th place game. We're anxiously await to see who will be moving on to those finals, but in the meantime, Replica's trying to get his farm up once again on to this Naja, and will he really be able to do so is the question. Can he get that hyper carry? And so at this point, you know, already falling behind in the early game, in fact, by a count of nearly 2,000 gold, 3,000 experience, it's can they survive to the late game for Vengeance? I mean, Hebo and Naja will scale. There's really nothing you can do about that. The question is, will they make it there, or will, you know, Bipolar just be too far ahead at that point for it to matter?
I'm thinking that Bipolar, the way that we saw him play earlier on today, I mean, the game they lost wasn't like a super stomp. It was a very quick, close game throughout the entire time, and we do see Honor actually going in right there.
Yeah, he'll deal a lot of damage with Desert Sphere onto Lennox, but it won't be enough to net a kill, unfortunately, for Bipolar, so they are still without their 3rd kill of the match. But it was a good try, and they're going to force Lennox out of the lane and maybe get some tower damage out of this, as Badger can certainly threaten or maybe get a rotation and find some more jungle minions. But, you know, Zeus is really out of the woods now against the Hebo. He'll be able to push the lane back, not having to really worry too hard about Hebo's burst damage in terms of clear. Here in the mid lane, we see Kronos rotating over, trying to deny this side lane XP camp, but it's just not going to be there. And now he's lost some value experience in the lane, and he's going to rotate back into an awkward position into basically the Thor and the Hercules. So he's going behind them, and yeah, there he goes. He's going to throw that out, and they're going to go happily take their blue. In the meantime, Bacchus, you know, has some gods on him. Will the wrap come out from Naja? Is probably looking just to hop over the tower. Going to use his Hand of the Gods. There's the sun coming out on the Badger. Will they have it? Oh, the ult is actually missed there by Naja. Thor comes in, but he doesn't hit anybody. Bacchus up over the wall. He will live. Spin to win is out. Frosty goes down. Replica's in trouble. Auto attack's coming out shortly. There it is. HiRock picks him up as well. Lennox now the one in trouble. Kronos trying to come in and put out what damage he can, but I don't think he has much. There is the rewind coming up, but it doesn't take him very far at all. And now in a lot of trouble. They'll find Young Bae. That's good news for them, but at what cost? Down will go Kronos. His ultimate used, and Sobek trying to disengage. This one goes very heavily 4-1 in favor of the gentleman of Bipolar Method. 6 kills to 1 now. 6 minutes, 30 seconds into the game.
And speaking of not seeing too great of Thor throughout this tournament so far, look what HiRock's doing. 3-0-3. He has so far ahead of his team and his opponents, and he even already has a Heartseeker done.
That's right.
He is scary. He is really strong right now.
Yeah, I mean, we can take a look at his physical power. Sitting at a very, very respectable 102 at this point in the game. It's just a tremendous amount of damage. And you know, it's one of those things where with Thor, if you get that early advantage, they just kind of skip finishing the boots and go for this damage build, and that's exactly what's happened here. They'll find a lot of damage on the Apollo, who's going to have to mez Thor and dash out, so using some cooldowns. One good note is that Hebo has just free farmed this wave, so he's in no trouble of getting ganked by Zeus for the moment. But will he be able to really convert this and make this into a late game presence? I feel like so much rides on Frezzy right now.
And the thing is, compared to his opponent, he's got 35 or almost 3,600 net worth. Compared to Lobster, he's at 4,300 net worth, and that's because Lobster, he's been around to the fight. I mean, yeah, we have Frezzy, he's been farming up the lane, he's been pushing it, but he isn't in these fights, which is, to me, where the real thing matters. Is like, if you can help your team, because obviously he lost 3 teammates, but if you can turn that around to like a 3 for 2, you know, a 3 for 3, then you come out a lot better than you just pushing out a lane.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know, the 2 assists are there on Zeus as well as the kill versus the 1 death, 1 assist on Frezzy on top of pushing the lanes out. So he is really starting to fall behind. And at this point, Bipolar Method, take a look at the graph. Yeah, I mean, they're just continuing to build their lead. They are once again back at about 3,100 gold ahead and about 5,500 experience. And that is translating into some serious level advantages. I mean, you have a level 6 Lennox. The lowest over here on Bipolar Method is level 9 in High Bay and Badger. So Lobster really pulling ahead at level 11. And Zeus really holding his own in this tournament. Has been a you know, not incredibly popular pick in the European scene, but not unheard of. But here it seems like all the teams really, really value him in this zero latency setting that can really land those auto attacks, build those stacks quickly.
Yeah, and for good reasons we've seen. But now a fight's going to break out here middle.
Yeah, we have Youngbei is taking a lot of damage from this Naja. He comes back down. He's going to leap straight up in the air, try to disjoint as much damage as possible. Desert Fury coming out, not enough to kill Naja, but that is indeed that final auto attack. And now they're looking for a kill onto Lennox. Not going to find it. Kronos in the back lines. He wants to try to get a kill onto Bay, but Bay's going to dodge at least 1 spell. There's the 2nd spell dodge. Takusa going to go ahead and ult back that rewind, taking him 7 seconds back in time. And no kill for him. Uh-oh, Hyrock wants to chase. That's a stun coming out. Will he have any kind of follow-up damage? Going to dodge the stun of Pakuza. And now I don't think there's anyone else here. There's a spin to win. What are you going to be able to do? Hyrock, the Berserker Barrage doing so much. He needs more auto attacks. He's got to close his distance, but he just can't. Ran out of mana, but to put a real hurting on that Kronos.
Yeah, I mean, that was just 1 spin, and he did that much to him, and that kind of gives a sign of how this game's been going. And Hyrock, he's been doing a phenomenal job during this game. Wasn't that I think in the first game he wasn't that impressive. He wasn't really able to make a lot of ganks happen, but right now he's making up for it very well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like, you see him sitting on that full Heartseeker and red buff. He has, you know, we're just looking at 186 physical power, which is no one can really deal with that right now. The next detonate on Frezzy could be dangerous. Will he sell the stacks on him is the question. No, they've fallen off, so there won't be another stack coming out, fortunately for him. And a detonate, and he will survive this next engagement. But we are moving into the 10-minute mark here, ladies and gentlemen. The score is 8-2 in favor of Bipolar Method. 10 minutes elapsed on the clock, and here comes Youngbei and Badger in the mid lane. And you know, you got to think they want to set up some kind of tower push here in the next several moments, and maybe even a Fire Giant attempt. I'm sorry, Gold Fury attempt. As they really look to force their advantage. I mean, you see the Void Stones being worked on by both Pakuza and Frezzy over there on Vengeance versus the triple Heartseeker coming out from Bipolar Method. So if you know, it can be Vengeance taking 1 big team fight's going to lose a lot of damage, but you know, you got to think if these all get stacked up, it's going to be pretty tough for them to win a team fight.
And something that kind of really is scary is the fact that Youngbei has almost 1,000 gold lead over Frostiak. We do see a fight breaking out here, and it looks like Bipolar Method's going to take this one.
Yeah, down will go Lennox. It's a 4-man gank coming out successfully executed. And now will this be the time they look to push the mid lane. They have Kronos and Naja and Apollo to deal with, so 3 very squishy damage dealers, but if they can zone them out, they can get a lot of damage on this tower. The trick is going to be getting that creep wave in there and having it not die immediately. Tower starting to fall very rapidly, Jason. It's getting down to about half health, and it looks like Bipolar really wants this victory.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job, and if they keep this pressure up, Vengeance can't really do anything to stop them. And it's really up to them if they want to keep their foot on the pedal or kind of take it off and back away. And right now, the way they're playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep this aggression. And Replikas, you talked about this champion, or this god being like a very strong hyper carry, but doesn't that mean you have to get going early on? Does that mean you have to have a strong start?
You know, not necessarily. As long as Naja is kind of in the running in terms of farm, sitting at 4,500 gold farm right now. That puts him basically lower than all of Bipolar Method. So I'd say this is probably a little bit far behind. But you know, even still, if they're able to keep this in the game and Replikas is able to just keep this farm consistently and not get shut down horribly from this point forward, still has an opportunity. But at 0-3 is a pretty rough start for him. And you know, if the other gods pan out to their like final full item slot late game build, it doesn't really matter if Naja gets there if the game will be over in 30 minutes.
And I think it's Replikas. He's at 4,800 gold total. Badger has 4,900. Like, he's behind even the support tank right now of Bipolar Method. And I don't know, I really want to see this game's going because we've seen Vengeance being able to pull it back before. I mean, they keep forcing the fights and sometimes they get an advantageous one, but right now, I'm not sure they have the levels or the items to do it.
Yeah, you know, they have their top farm on this Kronos here at 5,600, 5,700, but they're just not getting that much out of him. I mean, he can auto attack out of the back lines, but they just have no control. Sobek really the only one that can get in there and control team fights, but it's going to be a Gold Fury, more of a bait than a real attempt, it looks like here from Bipolar. Pakuza going to get a double stun off, but here comes Thor, and he has a follow-up stun as well into, yeah, a very, very dead Time Lord there. So down will go our Kronos, and that should be the cue to look to take the Gold Fury here for Bipolar Method. Indeed, Young Bae throwing in those auto attacks from behind, as you see. Will make short work of our Lady the Gold Fury, and that's going to put Bipolar Method even further ahead in Golden Experience as her yield comes out. And you see that that defensive ultimate being used by Zeus, just to zone him. The Boulder going to come out as well, dealing a lot of damage. Crushing Wave comes out, but it should be a simple enough stun. There it is indeed for Bae. Lobster picks up that kill. Spill in a bit of trouble, going a little too deep. He will fall after all to the Universe Ring Toss, but Lobster picks up a double kill now on Lennox, and that Zeus keeps on rolling.
And you talked about, Lennox. Actually, sorry, not Lennox. You meant Frezzy. He was needing to be a guy that can carry for his team, that Hebo can do some serious damage later on, but right now it just seems like his team's too far behind. They're not tanky enough to deal with the damage that Bipolar Method can put out, and because of that, he can't get the damage out that he needs to, and that was a Diacide. Yeah,
they fed a couple kills back there. Just, I think, maybe frustration, because that was they really had no hopes of winning that fight, and now it's basically Bipolar Method's game to lose. I mean, if they
had to do a lot of throwing for that to possibly happen.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a full Saturday afternoon to catch with Dad, the amount of throwing it would take to get this one out of their hands. But they really want to win this game. They really want to have a shot, and now it just comes down to how fast can they win it. Can they get their total match time down for a chance to make it into the finals? That ultimately will be their reward, is a chance to play for the 7,500 euros instead of maybe a 25 or 2,000 euro pool.
And remember, like, between Bipolar and SK, they had the longest game of the day so far, 53 minutes.
Yeah.
So that means COG, as long as they had like a really low times in all of their games, which I believe they had, yeah, COG might be the one to be able to go through here. So Bipolar, I mean, even though they need the victory, they need it really fast right now. Yeah,
they do. Yeah, Bipolar's got to find a way to win this game quickly, push into the base. Maybe they should try for an early fire giant. And it's hard to tell what's going through their head. Are they going, oh, well, we need to play against the clock, or we need to just secure this win? I think you have to just secure the win first. I don't think you can think about it in terms of a clock management thing. But look how deep they're diving over here in the left side lane. I got to just tip over there, guys. I'm sorry. Here comes, Thor crashing down at some point. I see him up in the air. HiRezBart will find a kill onto Replicos in the back lines, and Spoo continuing to kite the whole team. He'll have a driving strike up shortly, and because there is a Zeus there, and Spoo, oh man, so deep. Continuing in now is HiRezBart and Lobster. The Meds comes out from Frostiak, and it's a 1-for-1 trade so far. For the Naja and the Hercules there, and Naja, he's in some trouble. And Young Bae's going to get a crit there onto Frezzy and find a kill. And this may also result in a tower for Bae. Start throwing in those auto attacks. Can he clear out this creep wave and get his next one in there? But what a tremendous dive going between the Tier 2 and Tier 1 turrets. There is Team Bipolar Method, and they found a method here, and it seems to be working out quite a bit as they are up now. 9,300 gold and 15,000 experience at the 15.5-minute mark.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Yeah, I was thinking about we got a victory brewing here potentially for Bipolar, but will it be coffee or will it be tea?
Ooh.
I was trying to take your analogy and refine it a little bit, but I don't know if I made it worse yet.
No. You've done a wonderful thing for Smite. You'll go in the Hall of Fame for a great tea joke. Replicos could be in some trouble here because Bacchus has found him out. The team's got to be rallying. Here is the damage starting to come out from the Zeus. He's got 1 stack built up. He needs to try to find those 3 stacks. There's the chain lightning he's been looking for, and that is going to be a very, very upset Naja if they can find that kill. However, he's going to go in onto Lobster. Lobster going to beads out of that ultimate. A great preemptive beads play from Restarian. I'm sorry, from Lobster, our Zeus player. He's going to throw that ultimate over the wall, more basically to zone, maybe get lucky and find a stack, but looks like Frezzy is considering staying in, and he could be in some trouble to the store. Spin to win coming out. It's a lot of damage. Auto attack, knock up, dead Frezzy. And now yet another kill found for Bipolar Method. That's 3, and they're now up 20-4. And Jason, your dreams may have come true. A team may look to take an early fire giant.
Don't jinx it right now. We still have Kronos up. He's going to be coming in from the side. We have Apollo available as well. Fire giant's dropping in relatively quickly, but I don't want to jinx it just yet.
No whammies, no whammies.
I really don't.
No, there's not going to be even any contest. They're going in. Kronos making his way to the left side of the map, and Fire Giant will go the way of Bipolar Method, and they are looking to have a quick victory here. Can they take it all the way home?
And the thing is, right now, they're up 20-4. They have the Fire Giant. They had 1 Gold Fury. They have a lot of turrets to still take. They can increase their gold lead just not exponentially, obviously, but a huge margin right now if they just want to, hit these turrets down, take them all down 1 by 1, and then just go back, buy up some insane items. And look at the level discrepancy that we have between these two teams. I mean, we have 3 people at level 17 on Bipolar. We have no one even at 15 yet over on Vengeance.
No, we have a very, very sad Crocodile. A level 9
Is he a crocodile or alligator?
I don't know. I have to look at his teeth. I think he's a crocodile.
I think crocodiles have the pointy nose, alligators have the round nose.
Well, crocodiles have...
no, alligators have the pointy nose, crocodiles
alligators'
have the round
teeth go both ways out of their mouth. Crocodiles only go down. No, really, that's true.
Never mind. My mind is thinking weird things.
Your mind always thinking weird things, Jason, and that's why it's such a pleasure to co-cast with you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is HiRezBart. I'm the esports manager for Hi-Rez Studios, and I am joining Mr. Jason Kaplan here from ESL, a wonderful and handsome co-caster here for the Smite European Finals at Gamescom, as we watch Bipolar Method look to find their victory over Vengeance here. They're looking now to Pressure's left side. They've taken out the rest of the towers and are looking to go ahead and push on in, and looks like maybe the final stand of Vengeance happening soon. They want to take a fight at this tier 1 tower, but I'm not sure if it's so bright. I think they need to try to defend at the chokes at the base. I think that's their really only option at this point, is to try to find maybe 2, 3, or 4 even team fights to get back into this game.
Damn my mind, but it looks like they actually want to go for a fight here. Badger does go for the engage.
Yeah, he's going to go in. You saw the crushing wave to get out of there from Hebo in the back line. He's going to do a lot of damage to your Thor, but it doesn't matter because he's going to get stunned out. Young Bay's doing plenty of damage of his own. Naja wheeling around here. Thor starting to heal back up. There's the ultimate from Naja. Smart stuff. Should be enough to pick up a kill here on to Hyrock. Indeed, it is. So they get the Thor down, but they will lose that second tower. So a huge gold. In fact, we'll give it just a second here, and then we'll take a look. It's going to be a very aggressive spike.
Yeah, it's actually currently at 16,000 right now. You have 2,000 gold to spend on Lobster. You have 1,900 on Young Bay. You have 2,300 on Spo, and you have 1,700 on Badger to spend. That is just ridiculous in terms of items. They're not done just yet. They want to take this Phoenix down.
And they will. Very hard to contest this. And now look at this Archer wave here that's in the mid lane. It's going to get blown up by our Kronos.
You're like, look at it. I'm like, where'd it go?
Yeah, and away it goes. But yeah, Pakusa also like you to go for this Polynomicon build. Seems to be very highly prioritized by these Kronos players over something maybe like a Demonic Grip that we would see more often in the casual queue. But now it is the great march of the Bipolar Method. I mean, they've got their items. They have a huge advantage, and they got to be feeling real good.
They have. I mean, I would ask you to walk us through the items, but you really can't even do that with just how ridiculously stacked it is for them.
That's right.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, you have 4 or 5 items across the board for every single member. And right now, I mean, if Vengeance were to get back in this game, I don't want to say it's over yet because it's never over until the Guardian does go down. But what could they possibly do to get back in this? And right now, I would think the only thing is to catch a member of Bipolar off guard and kill him. But it doesn't seem like Bipolar's going to let that happen. They're staying grouped.
Yeah, it's just the advantage is such that, you know, they're going to have to commit a lot, and they're going to lose their main damage dealer here. Maybe no. Frezzy's going to barely make it out of there. Badger's going to find the Intoxicate, and the toss back from Spoo is going to be good, so they'll pick up a kill onto Frezzy, and that's a big part of their damage potential. And this is kind of, you know, one of those things where it's just, you can even look at it like a histogram, and they've just got more things. And when you have that many more things, you know, it's going to be really tough to deal with the push of Bipolar Method. They want to find that very quick victory, and they're on track to maybe pick up a 22, 23-minute win here, and that could be enough to put them into the finals. We'll have to go to the final score, but certainly it will make their total play time shorter than SK, I believe. We'll have to go to the admins for verification, but we could be seeing Bipolar Method versus Cognitive EU in the finals due to the rules of this tournament. Here comes the boulder coming out. Guardian is there fighting. Will we see him go down? That continues on in is the rest of the team. They're trying to find the damage. You're face tanking him. You're going to let him reset. He's going to gain some health back. Spin to win coming out. The Minotaur falling more and more. In the back there, Apollo is going to stun them out for the moment. Minotaur being leashed out. Repitas finds a kill to Young Bay. They may hold. It's going to be very, very close here. Will they find the kill? Spoo going to get stunned out. No, Minotaur will fall. And ladies and gentlemen, this game goes the way of Bipolar Method in about 22.5 minutes.
That was, I mean, what is it to say? That was just one-sided domination out of them. Just very well executed across the board, picking everything off early on and just punishing them left and right, constantly picking up these kills. And we could look at just score. I mean, Badger, 2-0-13. Didn't even die in that game.
Yeah, I feel like we call his name a lot just, oh, look at him. He's 0-0-8. What a tremendous game. Oh, 2-0-13. What a tremendous game. And once again, he's just a huge force, so disruptive on that Bacchus. And, you know, it's a little surprising teams aren't banning him out.
And look at the Hercules. Spoo, 0-2-8. What a feeder.
Yeah, feeding Spoo. But that's nothing new. Spoo often known as the primary feeder of Team Bipolar Method. So, but they put up a great battle here, and some fun picks coming out from Vengeance, but ultimately they will be moving on to fight in the third, fourth relegation match, I guess it is. Who will win that third place? Who will win that fourth place prize? It'll be about €500 separate them, so €100 a player between third and fourth place. And we saw, a great group stage so far. We have 3 teams going 2-1. And we are going to go ahead and toss it over to the stage here in just a couple of minutes and get a player interview. But ahead of that, we have just a little bit more analysis to give you here from the caster deck, Jason.
And I'll do it right now. Yeah. Vengeance. They came in through the wildcard qualifiers. I mean, they weren't one of the invited teams, but there's a lot of things they can take away from this whole tournament.
Sure.
Obviously, they're not going to place first. They're not going to place second, but still, they get the experience of playing against these top teams, of learning maybe what they're weak at, maybe knowing what they're strong at, be able to fix it. They also get a lot of fans from this as well. And honestly, I think the experience overall is really good for them.
I mean, I'm a fan. That's a sweet haircut. I mean, Vengeance is team haircut in my book. I mean, I think you make a really good point, right? I mean, they're obviously the youngest team by quite a bit, so this is probably a pretty overwhelming experience for them to come in here to Gamescom. Such a big event. It's so loud. They're playing in front of so many people. I mean, they do win. I mean, on a semi-regular basis, they win the weekly tournaments over these teams, but, it's a whole different ball game to play here, and they do come in as the 4th seed, which does have the hardest path to make it to the finals, and ultimately they will go 0-3 in the group stage, and now they are waiting to see who they will play for that 3rd, 4th match, and we are too, so we need to confer with the admins and really see exactly what we have shaken out here for everybody. But we're super excited to bring you the remaining coverage here. If we have time, we will bring you the 3rd, 4th place game. If not, we'll be moving directly into the finals. We'll have all that information for you as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, and I believe we might even have, I'm not 100% sure on this, so don't take my word, we might have a little bit of a break between now and the actual kickoff of the playoffs.
It could be, yes. Yeah, you may have a few minutes here. We have to just confer with our producers. But we're going to take a look at the group standings here as we've just completed the group stage. Ladies and gentlemen, your final standings are SK Gaming at 2-1, Bipolar Method at 2-1, Cognitive Gaming EU also at 2-1, and then a 1-2 Vengeance Esports is what you end up with there, ladies and gentlemen. So the graphic there having a little bit of graphical difficulty, but you do have 3 teams sitting at 2-1 and 1 team sitting at 1-2. So these teams very, very closely matched, I think you could say there, judging by those results. You have 3 teams coming out at 2-1. And we're going to toss it over to the stage where you have player interviews. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. And what a match it was. A very quick one, lightning fast compared to what we've seen so far. Vengeance, they picked some interesting some gods, should I say. It looks like Bipolar Method too strong for him this time around. I've got Young Bay here on the stage with me just for a bit of a chat. Now, you had a great game on Unhur as well. I think 8-1-7 you ended up very, very strong. Now tell me, what goes through your mind when you see Vengeance go for the Hebo Naja pick? You know, obviously, how strong they go into late game. How do you guys respond to that?
Because with Hebo and Naja, they're like really strong early to mid game. So we picked the team that has really, really strong early game, like Anhur, Thor, Hercules. And we just took advantage of that. We played really, really aggressive from level 1, and it seemed to work out really well.
Okay, yeah, it was interesting that we saw, Hebo struggle early in his early lane. I think against Zeus it was. What was the reason for that? Generally, was it just was it player skill based, or was there something else that happened earlier on in the game that caused that?
It's mainly a counter pick because we played against Hebo a lot. And we realized that Zeus can counter Hebo really well in the solo lane anyway, 1v1.
Now going into the game, you obviously knew that there was potential for what could have been a 3-way tie. Were you thinking of a win the early game strategy? Because as you just said now, Vengeance picked those strong, early game champions. So you guys obviously knew you wanted to win early, in terms of time. And what was it that allowed you to get the win early? Was it the right champions? Was it the right strategy? Or did something happen there that really allowed you guys to get a leg up?
I think honestly it's how we started off taking their jungle buffs at first. And then after that we went into their jungle when they were doing their red at level 2 or 3. And HiRezBart just like killed 2 of them there. And from then on we just snowballed out of control.
It's like HiRezBart showing us some of Thor's best games, I think, today. I think the only 2 wins Thor's had were from HiRezBart. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Young Bay. So we're going to be back very, very shortly. We're going to throw to a commercial break. And when we return, we're going to see and hear, in fact, the result of this 3-way tie that we have between SK Gaming, Bipolar Method, and Cognitive EU. It's going to be interesting, so stay tuned for that one. And we'll probably be jumping straight into the grand final after that one. So I apologise, I spoke a little bit too soon as well, telling SK that they'd made the finals. But nonetheless, we're going to roll straight on through. We'll be back with you.